the Red Match Podcast, the automotive podcast where Jamal's late. Who cares?
Like always, what up?
Yeah, he's got he's got big important things to do, I guess, or whatever.
He might be higher than the gas prices right now.
I
am.
I'm not even mad. I'm just a little jealous. Yeah, man. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Interesting week.
Yeah, very interesting week.
Very interesting week. Mike's got the Rev Match shirt on. I finally got my shit. The shirts are super nice. We're selling them. Let us know.
Yes.
Here's a hoodie.
DM us. We got hoodies. We got shirts.
We're just doing everything real low key right now. But yeah, we got hoodies. We got shirts. We're working on stickers and shit. But the t-shirt, I don't have it on because it's dirty because I wore it already. I wore it to work. They're nice, man. They're like thick, soft, just like Kyle's midsection. And yeah, no, they're super nice to wear. Really happy with the way they turned out. It's so DM us, Tom, if you would like a t-shirt. So it was funny, dude. I got this whole like fucking breakdown about where the R was. In my head, like I thought that type of shit goes on the right side. And like me and my boy like pulled all of our t-shirts out of each other, like my closet over stream, and I was like, show me where they're at. Like please make sure we're not making like a giant rookie mistake. They're all on the left. Every single t-shirt I own, every t-shirt he owns, everything's on the left-hand side. And I was like, it was like a Mandela effect. Yeah. I was like super brain fucking myself thinking that everything always went here. I don't know.
You can't see my logo. It's black, but it is on the left right here too.
Yeah, see, so it's just like this idiot over here was just walking through life thinking that's the way you made shirts. I would have ordered them wrong. I would have been the guy that ordered them wrong. This is why we let Mike do it.
Yeah.
Good
You're welcome.
Good job, buddy. Proud of you.
Yes.
And if you want to be update on merch that we are doing, be sure to like and subscribe.
That's a huge one. Well done, Kyle. I'm also considering opening the Discord server up.
You should.
Hey, look who decided to show up. In the hoodie though, so look at you. A different gazebo. Hey. Every show a different gazebo for this guy. Another day, another gazebo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, how many of them motherfuckers you got? How big is your backyard? You living all right?
Hey, look at him. He like looked around. He's like, let me look around the corner over there.
We can't hear you, by the way, Jay, if you're talking. Make sure it's set to the thing or whatever. I don't know. Seems like you got a lot going on there. But yeah, they're super nice. Order them. Let us know. Thinking about opening up the Discord server. I'd have to put some work into it to make sure that it was all like set up correctly and stuff. But if that's something you guys would want to do where you could just bullshit about cars all the time, one giant shithead car community chat, fucking absolutely. Let me know. Just shoot us in the DMs. Let us know what you think about that shit. So yeah, how was what's going on in everybody's life? I feel like I'm seeing all of Jamal's existence right now. Look at this. We're in the house. Oh, things are happening.
We out in the house right now.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, you can hear words.
Cool.
Now we're gonna go on a tour of emptied cribs with Jamal.
Right. This is gonna be like Redman's episode for the record. He's gonna have a bunch of random people in the kitchen.
That's why I'm always outside. There's always people at my house.
Yeah. That's living in Southern California. You always got somebody at your goddamn house, dude.
Yeah. The neighbors, shit like that.
Yep. Crackhead down the road. Just me? Weird.
No, just you.
Just me. Right. Anyway.
I did do car-related stuff.
Hoodies are super comfortable.
You like that?
Yeah. We're just having the merch conversation
every day since I got it.
Yes. It is very comfortable.
I wore it to the bar that night, like when I got home and I opened the box. I was like, oh, my hoodie's here. Put it on, went to the bar. Next day, went to go hoop. Didn't hoop in it, but wore it there, wore it back. Next day, it needs to go in the wash machine, but it's...
You're all
I'm just going to keep going.
Right. So nice. Yeah.
Fuck this.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So have you worn the shirt yet?
Yeah, I've worn the shirt. Shirt's in the wash.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, my girl keeps wearing her shirt.
Oh, so his girl got a shirt. Because, see, Jess is about to come all the way out to California, Mike, and talk to you about yourself because you didn't send her a shirt.
Well, then I got the orders backwards then.
Yeah, because I
Oh,
got
I
like
did get I
extra
got the order
large
backward
stuff.
then. Yeah,
yeah.
that's my bad.
I
just
got
need to
extra
send
large
you,
stuff
like
too.
I need to send you, like, just, like, a
We'll just
couple
do
of
it.
'em. That
We'll
way
do
you
that.
just
Yeah,
have
we'll
it.
do it on the next run when I actually, help pay for it. We'll do it on that one. Maybe he's sending me a bunch of shit. We've been talking about doing merch and forever, and I feel like Mike got a wild hair up his ass one day, and he was just like, "Hey, I ordered a bunch of shit, so it'll be here on
Yeah.
Tuesday."
I did. I kind of got tired of just fucking waiting for us. I'm like, you know what?
It was
Fuck
great.
it.
It was
Yeah.
great. It needed to
Make
be
the
done.
Appreciate. Thanks,
make the
Dad.
leap.
Thanks,
You're welcome.
Dad.
I made the investment in Rev Match Podcast. Make it
We're
official.
we're gonna
Now we need some stickers.
yeah.
Let's get
Hey.
let's get some sticker necks, and we can all slap them on our beautiful beasts.
I wonder if paying for that merch hurt as bad as it hurts me when I think about how much time I've invested in this podcast for $0 over the last 2.5 years. And I'm just like, yeah,
I
we're
mean,
not gonna think
you
of.
know
I
what the
know.
merch costs.
I know. It was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
shit
was
ain't
not
cheap. So when we tell you what it costs, motherfuckers, we ain't making shit. We're just, trying this first one out.
Man.
See how everything goes before we order a bunch of shit. Anyway, they killed the STI, so that's cool.
What do you mean?
What?
So Subaru has announced that there will be no new STI based on the updated WRX chassis that everybody knows and hates. The new plastic clad one that looks like a lowered Crosstrek.
Yes.
They're not going to do an STI. So the WRX, that's what
Is
you
it?
get. Which
means the STI that we've been waiting for like 4 years to actually
just
be released
ain't coming.
is
Dad's
just
not coming
not
Has already
existent.
Yeah.
The ninth, like there are 19s and up are gonna be the
You
closest
guys
thing
got
you're
it.
gonna get to it. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's
You
their
guys got
greatest
it.
version of that car.
They're going
Like,
electric for the next one. So they have
Electric
this,
STI.
which
It might be a
uh,
hybrid.
no, it's gonna be full electric. They're because they already have the Solterra, so what they're gonna end up
that's
doing
true.
is I think they're gonna use a lot of Toyota parts.
of course.
Yeah.
Which because it's just way cheaper for them because that Solterra is essentially like an electric CRV, right? That's what we get for talking shit. That is what we get for talking shit about the STI. It's ugly. It's slow. Well, now you don't get to have one. Wait, no, give it back. Don't tell. No, please don't. No.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great for. And we had this conversation before, right after I bought my STI. Now the Subaru WRX is the only 4-door manual all-wheel drive vehicle that you can buy new.
Yep.
And that is really sad because that bitch is ugly as fuck.
Yeah.
It's not a great looking car. Apparently it drives really nice. I haven't sat in one. I haven't driven one. But like, it's, it wasn't what
want
everybody
to?
was. Yeah, it wasn't what
No.
everybody was hoping for. Everybody was pretty much a critical disappointment, right? So yeah, it's kind of sad.
It's totally sad. Fuck. I mean, you're ending an era of a generation of love. I
Well,
mean,
now the
that's
Evo and the
Subarus is
STI
what.
are dead too.
Yeah, like that's what got me into cars was my 03 WRX that I had bought and actually had a little bit of money to put some shit into, right? Like
Yeah.
I just love the look of the car, how it sounded. I mean, there's nothing like a sound of the Subaru. Like I don't care about all the fucking haters, but like I love that car. Like to see
They
it now
sound
just
cool.
like disappear, like that
Well,
fucking
yeah,
sucks.
it does suck,
You
dude.
shed a tear, man. I'm gonna sign off.
One
I mean, but like
single tear. It's just
He was
just like
blinking so hard.
you're killing off an icon essentially. I mean,
it's like this
Yeah,
is
they really
probably how
are.
the Evo guys felt,
Aren't they all gonna eventually just die off though?
That's kind of like the really sad part is like, and we've
Yeah.
touched on this quite a few times over the course of the podcast. Like they're just going away. Like,
and I think it's coming faster than we realize too, right?
Dude.
Because the real push for EV right now is fucking massive.
dude, I
Yeah.
want you to guys think about
Yeah.
your job where you work right now. How long did you work for Nilo?
16,
3 years.
15, 16 years.
Okay, so in 3 years,
It'd be completely different.
there will not be a single new gasoline powered Audi on your showroom floor.
Yeah.
Or on your
Yeah,
lot.
I know that.
They will
Yeah.
not exist.
100%. they committed. It was like 2025 or
That was
2026.
it. 2025.
Yeah.
Mercedes is
done.
doing the
Yeah,
same shit.
2025.
BMW is doing the same shit. Toyota's saying we'll have a full electric variant of every vehicle we manufacture by 2020. It's a wrap, dog. Like,
Yeah.
which is like this is the crazy part. Performance car is now a collector's item.
I
Hello?
can't hear you.
Oh, there
Oh,
you go.
man.
You're gone. You're
Cut
gone.
out.
That was the crazy part.
Did you try?
Yeah.
Did you
There
try?
you go.
Did you try turning it off and on again?
I actually literally just did turn it off.
I
and on
think
again.
Alex was just letting us know that like he was gonna donate the STI to the Rev Match podcast, and we can all just take it out whenever we want.
Out of here.
Just ship it across the country. It's fine.
Timmy,
Let me
dude,
take it
fucking
today.
Jamal's got 3 fucking Mustangs. Donate one of them bitches. Anyway,
I don't want
Well,
to
They
crash.
said they're gonna stop making my car.
Tom said
It'll
the end of
come.
the STI.
His car's already been stopped made, right?
No, I was gonna
Go
say is
Tom.
that
That was
every
good.
all other Ford's Mustangs.
Enter
now.
the vape
that's
shops will
doing the
go
opposite.
broke.
You're right. They're doing the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Everybody else is stopping making their like trademark cars, and Ford is like, you know what? Everything's
keep
just gonna
going.
be a Mustang. Like,
Everything's a
Look
Mustang.
at-
It's a
Mustang.
four-door
But look at
electric
Dodge.
Mustang.
Mustang, the 4-door
Dodge.
Mustang. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dodge said fuck
Dodge
everybody.
Chrysler, like they're still doing, obviously push rod motors. They don't give a shit.
What are you talking
They
about?
don't care.
And
What are you
that
talking
might
about?
make me get a Dodge.
They're no,
'cause,
they've
I
already
mean,
No,
already
yeah.
they're done. They're done
Yeah,
too.
they yanked the
Oh,
yanked
Oh,
the
did
plug
they?
on all of those.
This
Yeah,
is
they're
the last
killing
Charger,
off-
the last Challenger. This is it. No
Yeah.
more Hellcats. They're not.
Oh, I
they're
didn't know
not,
that either.
Yeah, they're not doing. They're not. They're not
The
developing
entire
push rod.
Is
Yeah,
full
anymore.
of disappointments. We need to start this shit over.
So long story short, Alex is not
Are
selling.
we gonna have an
the
EV
STI.
podcast?
Well, this was the point I was trying to make before my fucking mic cut out. Is that every performance car is now a collector's item. Every
Yeah.
single one of them.
Yeah.
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 Hold.
You
Do
think the
not
car
sell.
prices are
Hold.
high now, guys?
That's
You
what I'm
think that
saying.
shit's up there?
And Lenny thought I was joking when I said that my
Dude.
STI is going to be as worth as much as his GTR, and I was not
It's not a
fucking
joke.
kidding. That's not a joke.
No, it's not.
No,
Honestly, I had contemplated selling the STI. I didn't
no,
even
you
mind,
gotta
like,
wait. No, you gotta.
like,
gotta
now
hold
you
it
gotta
now.
Give
wait.
that like 2-3 years.
I'm holding at least. I'm doing 6-month check-ins. That's what I'm doing at this point.
So what we were talking about it earlier. That's 3 years that you have the good motor.
Yep.
There's 19, 21, and did they sell 22 cars?
22s, but very few because they
Okay.
didn't have them.
Okay, so you got 3
So
years
4
of a good
4
motor.
years.
19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, four
Yeah,
years.
4 years.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
you
I
got
don't.
4 you
I
got-
don't know math.
You're good. No.
Yeah,
You got
but
4 years of a good car. Or at least in
it's got
what
the best.
we, in
it's
the
got
Subaru
well.
world,
It's got the best chassis dynamics of any Subaru.
Yes. Yeah.
It's got the biggest factory brake kit of any Subaru, and it's
Yeah.
got the stoutest factory motor of any STI that we got in the States.
Yeah.
Yes.
Other than like
Oh.
the S209s and all that other fucking shit, which were
Dude, can you imagine
Dude.
what those motherfuckers are gonna sell
yo,
for now?
I fucking clowned on
Oh my
everybody
God.
that paid 15 over for an S209 when they came out, and those bitches are like Breaking Bad
Now.
rolling in money right now. Like, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Like
yeah.
6-figure
I remember when I
STI.
was looking, and there was from the car that I bought to a S209, it was a 10 grand difference. Those cars were going for 50 when I bought mine. I guarantee you they're at least 70 now.
Well, that
Oh,
no,
yeah.
that's so
More?
that's not. So, are you talking about that Type RA or the S209? Because the S209 was
No, that's
had a s-
209.
The
Yeah,
S209.
because that had a sticker of 65.
No. So I was looking at it used.
Oh, used.
So
Okay.
you used.
Damn, I
market,
would. What the
right?
fuck? I would have bought that.
No,
shit,
no.
dude.
Used. They were down to like 50 grand. It was a 10
Yeah,
grand difference.
yeah.
And I couldn't justify the fucking 10 grand for the car. Like
Yeah, I mean,
now you're
when you're
like,
already
well, I
carrying the
could-
note for the GTR.
now I
Yeah.
can fucking justify it because they're doing this shit. Like
I gotta like get mine fixed up. I gotta get it cleaned up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
Fucking
just got
dim the
normal
lights.
Subaru paint shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah.
paint sucks and stuff. I would much rather throw $1,000 in bodywork at it and just.
But
fucking
you
get
need to
it
do
cleaned
more
up.
than that. You need to throw $1,000 in body work, and then you need to expel the whole thing.
Yeah, that's true. Which
With
I
how
may
much
try.
you're driving?
Well, that was the other thing. I told Jess about this shit. She's like, "You need to get a beater." She's like, "You gotta stop driving that car." I was like, "That's what's up."
I know.
yeah, she has a point.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Google.
like
Yeah.
now it's like
And then what ends up
Right.
happening is the beater becomes the project car, and then now
Yep.
you have the project car and the collector car, and then you go buy an electric car.
Or electric car.
Just go buy an electric car and just drive that bitch back and forth to work.
Yeah, but my child was paid for.
You know, if Alpha Motors comes through,
If that company ends up being a real company,
oh my god,
it's gonna be amazing. They partnered with Rotiform for their wheels, which I believe the implication was that they'll come from the factory with roadies on them. Just
that's
kind of
dope.
a trip. They just partnered. They just announced a partnership with like a charging, like an inboard charging company that does all the electronics for the charging system for the car. So they have like a distributor for that, but that's like where you got to think about it like this: like Ford doesn't launch a new model by telling you what their parts distributor is, right? Because
Yeah,
like nobody cares.
They just launch a car.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where
Yeah.
we're at with this company. It's like, hey, we have a real part that we could buy from a dude to put in our car. That was the rendering we've been showing you for the last 2 years, dude.
Yeah.
But
They've got a long way to come.
I think
before
they kind of
actually-
have to though.
you have to keep
Yeah,
the hype up,
yeah.
right? With like the little things that you do.
Yeah,
As
because they're trying to like break into like a market that is pretty much
Have you-
owned
have
by
you looked at
Tesla right
these-
now. So it's
have you looked at these guys, Jay? Do you know who we're talking about? Alpha Motors.
what's the car?
Alpha
Alpha Mo-
Motors Inc.
I've seen it, but it's been a while since I've looked
Yeah.
at it because they don't sell.
I mean, like,
anything.
dude, I would
Yeah.
buy the truck. I would buy the little rally car that they made. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I like
Yeah.
Put it
every
up.
The little
honestly
rally car they
design
make is
they've
nice,
put
but-
out. Yeah, like
Yeah,
that
thing
looks
is
so sick.
Right? Like, yeah. These
It's got
guys-
carbon fiber fender flares on it.
dude, the
That
wagon.
the jacks, dude. I would totally rock one of
Oh,
those.
yeah, this is the lifted thing. But like, dude, even the wagon, like,
Yeah.
dude, like they're
Oh,
cool
the
looking.
Saga.
Dude, the adventure wagon, like the fact that you can, if this all comes to pass, right?
I mean, like, and go up to the blue Super Saga with the gold wheels on it or the bronze wheels on it.
Oh,
Like,
that takes you
They
to
have
YouTube.
a good
No, we're gonna be
wheel
demonetized.
choice on there. No, but like they already have wheels on the cars, like that look.
That's
good.
like an interesting color. It's got
Like-
cool lines. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
please be real, Ace Alpha Motor Corporation. We can take one
Please
thing
make
away
it.
from this. Please make, like, if you're gonna take all of my hero cars away from my childhood, at least give me cool looking shit to drive around and go. Whee!
Right.
Shit, right?
Alpha Motor Inc. sponsored by Rev Match Podcast.
I feel like
yeah.
all of the advancements in electric cars that we need cool
Shit, I'll do
looking
a
cars.
review. Send
Right?
me one.
Right, fucking sign me up. But they have to look cool because there's no reason for them not to. You have no packaging to work around other than humans. Everything else is just a skateboard. So fucking make them cool.
Pretty much.
And more Tycon-esque fake noises.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
At least make a cool noise, and then maybe one day I'll be cool with it.
yes.
They do look
I
sick.
feel like they
Tom.
might as well just go all the way to the far side and just make it like a. I don't give a fuck what it looks like. Just make it a driving den. Like, let me just get in, sit in any
Have
direction
you seen
I
those
want to,
those concepts?
type in where I'm going, and just yeah.
It's like I'm gonna give
You're
it
gonna
up.
take
Just let me
the
give it
fun
up.
of driving away from me. Yeah, just take it all.
So here's
Breaking
the
my
point
heart.
every car is going to look the same like an iRobot, and there's going to be the grid, right? And then you just put in
Yeah.
your destination and you just go. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter what
Yeah.
your car looks like anymore.
and it's just
Everything's the
fucking
same.
does
Same
this
color.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
If
not in
you're
our
gonna take-
lifetime, but like I could imagine that happening.
Yeah.
Like with where cars are going, it'll be like
Well, that's what they want.
Yeah, it'll be like, okay, you bought the battery and the chassis. Now you can pick any fucking shell you want, and we can put it on top of it. Like, what do you want to drive today?
I mean, I
Like,
think that's fucking genius. Honestly,
that's
like,
what will be like the future of like having cool car shit, right? Well, I have a fucking Porsche decked out with a battery, and I can just slide this car over, take it off in 4 bolts, and then put it back on, and it's ready to go. Or you don't even have to unbolt it.
So
It's just like,
yeah, my boy just sent me this. This company is doing electric conversions of like muscle cars and shit.
Seen that.
mhm.
Oh,
Which-
I've seen some of those.
So
Yeah.
here's my thought on this whole thing. People will be like, you can't do that to a muscle car, and I'll be like, why? Because like they're kind of bad. Like objectively speaking, they're kind of bad to drive, right? Because they're old.
It's
And
a big
even
ass
when-
muscle car. It's
Yeah,
steel,
you
easy
know, and it's like they
turn,
don't
easy
have
stop.
great suspension geometry. They have steering boxes. They don't brake well, whatever. And you can throw a lot of money at them, and make them less bad. Not good, but less bad. You can throw
Yes.
a fuckload of money at them and make them pretty good,
Yes.
right? But like deep into six figures, like deep
Oh yeah,
deep into
that's a
six figures.
100,
100, 250,000.
200,000.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so now you have a car that looks great, probably sounds amazing, and then drives pretty well.
Right.
Right. It's like, cool. What if you could do like 75 Gs and it's still fast as fuck in a straight line because that's what you cared about, but all the weight's now low, so like it actually handles a little bit better. And you never have to worry about anything, and you can get all the modern shit and like have the vibe because the cars are about the vibe, right? The look of the car. And I'm into it. I honestly think they're cooler. Like maybe that's because I've seen a
Which ones
million.
did you see for 75 grand?
It was just so it's like a fuck. Who did
A
it?
Taycan. A
No,
Taycan
Ford
base,
Performance
two-wheel
does it.
drive.
No, Ford Performance makes a
No.
chassis you can put an F100 on that has an electric motor in it.
That's tight.
I thought you were talking about for like older muscle cars and shit.
Oh,
Yeah, well, there's another company that's doing that too, but it's still they haven't released the car yet. But they're saying 75 to 80 Gs for like a driving vehicle. So it's a frame with a
I saw
body
some
and a
shit
motor.
yesterday that was 420K.
Oh, I'm sure because there's some super bespoke shit out there. I'm talking like a lot more like bolt-on
It's
type.
an all-electric 1966 Mustang Fastback.
That one is the black one.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a limited production, handcrafted from the bottom up vehicle. I'm talking like,
So
hey,
when
like,
that's what I'm saying. When you say a muscle car that's electric, that's what I'm thinking.
yeah. So this is like, so you know how like Roadster Shop will sell you a roller for 35 Gs, and it's
Okay.
got all the fucking. You
all
can
the
get it for
shit.
like 35 Gs with no engine in it, and anywhere between 45 for an LS3 to like 70 for an LS7, with a full rolling powertrain. You put a car on it. They're doing shit like that.
Okay.
Right. So you have like a rear wheel drive, 400 horsepower chassis that I think was like 42 Gs. And then you bolt any B body. So it's any like B body Mopar, 67 to 69 Camaros. You couldn't put the big shit on them. You couldn't put Chargers and shit on them because they were just, it's not a 19-foot long supporting chassis. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and you could just basically, it has a full running driving powertrain, all the electronics, put your body on it, get the pedals to speak to each other, which is all throttle by brake by wire, drive the car. Because the
So
car
why would I
itself,
spend 420K for that other shit then?
because it's probably faster. You're buying a whole completed vehicle where it's like everything's been built to look together. There's a consistent theme and all that types of shit. And it's rare. They're making like 500 of them. But this is the same argument where, do you remember when Pete would argue with us in fucking shop class and he'd be like, why would I go buy a Lamborghini when I can make my Camaro faster than that? I'm like, because your Camaro's not a fucking Lamborghini. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's many different.
I mean, something's
involved.
gonna be said in the future when you can pull up in a Pontiac GTO that's all actually a real motor in the car, whether it's something that's big, fast, or if it's just a stock engine, right? That's gonna be something that's gonna be like
Rare.
super rare. Like,
Right, but if it sounds like the difference between the two is just that the 420K one is something that somebody else is completely building. Like if I've got a Camaro that is super clean sitting in my garage and the motor's blown and I'm like, fuck it, 35K for this
Yeah.
400
electric roller.
horsepower.
And
Yeah.
why would I not do like why wouldn't I go buy
yeah,
somebody's
You can
decent
absolutely
ass
do that.
muscle car off Craigslist and do the same thing?
I'm
well,
with
like,
you.
in a certain theory, well, not to that point, but TJ Hunt did that. He fucking blew up that Mustang so he could put a fucking RB26 in it.
I
Yeah.
still prefer Adam LZ's because he blew up his GT350 and put a bar engine in it, which is way fucking cooler in my
Oof,
opinion.
yeah.
I would agree with you.
First of all, the
So,
audacity
But
to do
yeah.
it to a GT350, and the second of all, it's a Ford straight six, which is cool.
the other day, a Porsche 914 sold on Bring a Trailer, and it has a Tesla motor or like an electric battery, and it's an EV conversion hooked up to a manual gearbox. It sold for 41 grand. So You don't have to buy a $400,000 one. You don't have to take your charger and buy one. You can
fucking car.
find.
You said it was a 914, like a little
It's a
itty bitty.
914 in.
Saw that.
British.
For
Is it British
41
Racing Green?
grand.
Yeah.
41
Well,
grand.
you remember what the 914 is, right? It's the baby Porsche. It's a little itty bitty
Yeah,
guy.
but still.
They all
But
came
it's-
with 4 bangers and a 6.
I was
Yeah,
actually
but-
working for a shop who was doing that to a 911. They were
It's
converting a
fucking
911 with
cool.
a
Like, dude,
Tesla. Yeah.
did you guys see Throttle's electric swap 350Z?
Yes.
It's my favorite
That thing is
350Z
sick.
ever.
That
It's my
thing is
favorite.
sick.
Yeah,
It's so sick.
It's so fucking stupid. They did it so well, honestly, for what it is. Like, they put so much time into it. They brought in a electrical engineer to finish up all the wiring and do it properly and all this shit. And it goes sideways. It has adjustable power, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm with it. You know what I mean? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Matthew, stickers. We do not have stickers yet. We're working on that. Thank you. We had to switch vendors. The guy, he said he would do it for free for a Mickey's 40 backed out. Didn't think that guy would, didn't think that he would let me down like that. Seemed really reliable, but
Yeah,
just ghosted, man. Took what he wanted and he left.
Yes, Tom. I will pay to sticker bomb your car. With Red Match logos, and you
The
got to drive it around
Genesis.
the
Can we
city
do the
and shit.
Genesis? Yeah.
Hell yeah, I will
City.
pay to have that shit sticker bombed.
I don't think he has the Jenny anymore.
No, he's got the Mercedes.
Oh, hi, Matt. I didn't even notice that, Matt.
You mean the Genesis that whooped a 650 horsepower truck on the freeway? That
Leo,
Genesis?
where you at? Leo, where you at?
That's a true story, Jamal, by the way.
Thanks, babe.
So my old coworker bought a blown 5-liter single cab short bed F-150 off of another coworker, right?
Mm-hmm.
And our boy here on the freeway ran him in a stock 5-liter Hyundai Genesis sedan and won. To be fair, the rear end and gearing in the stock F-150 is not set up for a 700 horsepower blower engine, but it doesn't make it less funny just to tell the story.
Right.
Right. But you dragged some guy with a blown.
He got it on video too. That's the best part. He got it on video. He got it on video, and the truck has like a vinyl job on it. Like it has like stripes and shit on the side of it, and it looks pretty good.
It's
But it's like
respectable. It's respectable.
no, it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad at
it's
all.
a
But it's
good-looking
just
truck.
it's just a matter of you can't say it wasn't your truck, right?
Yeah.
You can't be like, no, it wasn't me. It's like
that wasn't me. Nah.
No.
like that Chappelle bit about R. Kelly. It's like, no, I need to see him. His grandma needs to be there. He needs to be holding up 2 forms of ID. And we're canceled. Whatever. But so we got off on an electric tangent, as happens a lot. But
This is my dog.
the STI thing, man, yeah, like I think that every performance car as we know them, every enthusiast car right now is a collector's item. If you own something cool, don't fucking sell it.
Yeah.
Like that's, or just wait, because it's just gonna get crazy, and it's like such a bad time to be a car enthusiast right now, dude. Like
Right.
we can't get parts, can't buy
Everybody's
cars.
holding on to their shit.
They're canceling vehicles. Like it's just look what they did to the Integra, right? We're supposed to be happy with that.
So, fun fact: I may have called M45 today about my STI.
Are you doing things?
May have
Was that-
called.
Was that
And
after our conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you give them
Is
money?
that why you called me?
No, I called you talking about other shit. But,
Okay.
Did you
No.
put money down? Did you order shit?
No.
No. Okay. Alright.
No.
So we're in the planning stages. That's okay.
He can't say that out loud.
No. So I called about flex fuel and a car, 20G.
Okay. So the
And
400, on the
so
road to 400
what I've
horsepower.
always wanted to do to the car.
That's all you
Uh,
need.
That's all you need in that
That's
car.
all
And
that
honestly,
car
like,
needs.
Man, I
I'm kinda
agree
even
with
worried
you.
I'm kind of even worried about
I
getting
mean, you
like
could
that,
always
like,
get more, but like that's all it really like. You're
Dude,
really
being
thinking
in
about
Texas
going
is such a mind fuck.
Oh, I'm
like,
Not
sure.
500 horsepower though. I want it like daily,
That's
being
cute.
like daily driven, right?
Yeah. That's cute.
Like
There's a
Yes,
dude. There's
yes.
a dude out here that daily drives like a 790 wheel horsepower VA STI.
Jesus,
It
that's
doesn't
gotta be
even sound
miserable.
that. No, it doesn't even sound that gnarly. It doesn't even
No
sound that crazy.
shit.
It doesn't sound that crazy. He's got like
What kind of
it's
clutch
not.
has he got in that thing?
I have no fucking clue. But I was talking to the guys at the shop
All of
over
it.
here, and I was like, "Yeah, there's this one." Blah blah blah. They're like, "Yeah, that dude's pushing like 800." I'm like, "Tight."
Don't fuck with him. He's good. Okay,
Like,
sweet.
cool,
Right.
man. Yeah.
All right.
Yo, what I
Dude,
did see
drag
was
that
tight.
ass.
Yeah. Oh,
Hey,
dude.
big mama.
Dude. What? Pardon me.
Talking about dog.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Oh,
Clarification's
shit.
important.
Oh, baby mama was like, oh, okay.
No, he said, "What's up, big mama?"
I heard baby mama. I ain't gonna lie about
Nah,
that.
so what's up, big mama?
Yeah. Oh man, somebody named Russian dot to
Dude,
the
I just
dot.
saw
Yeah,
that.
wants
That's
to
my
send
homie.
us. Oh, is it okay?
Okay.
Is his first name Vladimir?
No,
Alex.
but I to your point about like parts and stuff, I called them and they're a Cobb supplier, right? And I'm like, okay, so what's the cost? And he gave me the cost breakdown of flex fuel, full flex fuel, installing my air oil separator, Cobb 20G, intercool, like everything, right? With tuning. They originally gave me a price without tuning. I'm like, well, it's got to be tuned, so I need a
Yeah, I
price
don't
for
know
tuning.
why the fuck. Because M45 doesn't do the tuning. That's why.
Well, correct. So, but they're like, but I got to call you back. I'm like, why? And he's like, because I got to source these parts. They're like, and these guys are like our direct supplier of Cobb and like brag that they have shit in stock, and they don't even have shit in stock.
So
Like,
here's my question to
Nobody's
you:
got shit.
is that what are they charging you for a 20G? And just go look at the Grimspeed turbos and compare.
Yes.
I've thought about it, and I totally have. And it's a question I'm going to bring up to them when they call me back of like what the availability is.
Yeah,
Of, like,
because I
when
know
I looked
Grimspeed
on,
has them. They're out too.
I looked last week. They didn't have the intercoolers and they didn't have the turbos.
Damn.
Are you doing is it a stock turbo location or is
Yeah.
it a rotated setup?
No,
Stock.
stock.
20G's a bolt-in. They're both all
Yeah,
the.
they're both bolt-ins
Yeah.
for it. So
I just know the 600 wheel horsepower one you sent was a rotated turbo setup.
No, you can do it either.
either way,
Oh.
Yeah. So they made 500. Oh no. Oh, okay. Wait up. Roll that back. The car that I sent that made 600 horsepower to stock
Yes.
bottom end, yeah, which was fucking wild for the record.
Which is wild. That was
That's
a rotated turbo
fucking.
setup.
That one was rotated turbo, but the overtake
I'm
turbo
right behind you.
Don't know if you know this, homie, but somebody lurking back there.
just in case you didn't see that on your screen.
That's the bar. It's his
Hold on,
bartender.
hold on.
And by the way, Jamal's on a small ass like cell phone right now.
Did you see that movement? He just leaves it there, Garcon. But no, the one that made like 530
Garcon?
on 1050 injectors was
That's insane.
yeah, that was the factory Grimspeed factory location Grimspeed turbo, the bigger turbo of the two. So the smaller size one's equivalent to a 20G, and then the bigger one's like equivalent to like the BPT Dominator one that all the mid-range horsepower guys use.
I did some reading. I did some research. I mean, I would go either way. I think both are quality. I think you have Cobb, who's been a standard tune for Subarus forever, right? I mean, they've been a leader in Subarus since I've been involved in Subarus for 15
And I
years.
hear you about that, but let me just
you didn't even let me fucking finish.
because I don't.
God
Because
damn it.
you're shilling
I
right
hear
now.
you,
No.
but
and I'm saying that, but I agree with you. Like, I've done a lot of like research on Grimspeed. I like their product. I like what they bring to the table. I like that they're a little bit more innovative with their stuff. Like they're always, it seems like every time I'm looking at them, they're constantly updating it. And Cobb's like that standard, like, look, we developed this shit back in 2015 and it works for all the models going forward. Well, do I want that, or do I want to do something along the lines of like Grimspeed, who's constantly updating their shit and getting better?
Well,
and
I
better
think
and better?
there's something to be said for two of those things. One of which is just because somebody did it for a long time, they also have the thing where they've like built a brand up, and you're kind of paying for the Cobb brand to some degree.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
I
But
like the Grimspeed
I
aspect.
like the
Go ahead,
Grims.
keep
Yeah,
going.
I like. Sorry, I just paused because my brain locked up because I'm stupid. I've met the Grimspeed dudes. They're super cool dudes. They drive Subarus, right? They're really passionate about what they do. Cobb is now like really branched out from the Subaru community because of the access port, right? Like that's been like
Yeah,
everybody's like,
100%.
if you have a modern turbo car, 9 times out of 10, somebody's using an access port to tune it, right?
Dude,
Like
they do
there's
Porsches and like
they
they
do
give them
and
100 horsepower
dude, they're
right off the bat.
dude,
Yep.
the
Fucking dumb.
F-150s and all that stupid shit where it's like I got
Yeah.
a 600 horsepower stock engine F-150, it just beep, beep, whatever.
It blows in like 40,000 miles, but it's fine.
But it was fucking rad before it blew. Anyway,
Right.
so I
Still
think
under
that
warranty.
you're fucking right. Yeah, I just got to beep boop it real quick and be like, oh, the thing exploded. It was weird.
I mean, a good example. I'm on 034 Motorsport Training, and I've gotten 2 updates since I've had my tune, and like they do cold start, like idle warm up updates, and like Kyle, I was talking to you because you talked shit on me because you'd always see me drive out the parking lot hella fast before warming up my car,
Yeah.
and they my issue was like I would drive for 20 minutes before like my car was actually warmed up. Like it would take that long to warm up, and they they sent an update out and it had warm up start updates and everything, and now my car warms up in like 10 minutes. Like I go out and drive and it's up to operating temperature within 10 minutes. It just gets
So
to
like
temp pretty quick.
our thermostats are electronically controlled, right? Like in a way. So they probably try and keep it closed a
Yeah.
little bit longer.
Yeah.
So
So
that's
that
probably
it gets hotter.
yeah. We'll see your block gets hotter, on
Yeah.
start. You want it to warm up, obviously, for emissions and shit like that. But
Oh, and the cool thing about the latest update I was talking to Mike about is, I mean, we just happened to go on that drive that we did, but it updated. Oh my God, I don't know the wording that it used, but the boost controller in high altitudes. It adjusted the boost control in high altitudes. So
Should have a more consistent boost in higher altitudes. Would be my
yeah,
educated
so
guess, because I mean, the less air you're sucking into the motor, the more inconsistent your boost levels would be for that.
yeah, so we'll have to go on another drive and test it out.
as long as they're not on 91, I don't want to embarrass you again.
I am on 91. I can't afford E85 on retirement.
E85 is cheaper right now. What are you talking about?
You just said it was like 490.
420.
When was the last
420.
time
That's
you
a
bought
great
gas? 'Cause I
number.
paid like $6.19 the other fucking day.
For E8,
Yeah.
not or you're on 91.
91.
Yeah.
Don't fucking talk to me about gas prices, bitch. Fuck
Yeah.
All
you.
right, so Tom was asking about this turbo shit, so I just found it here on Grimspeed's website. So,
Oh yes.
so they have a video, Tom. If you go to Grimspeed's Instagram, their link in their profile, you can look at their turbos. So 2020 STI shop car able to produce 488 wheel horsepower and 515 wheel torque. Holds 400 wheel torque from 4,000 RPM to all the way to red line. So
Wow.
driven in STI, that's really good because
That's
What's
that's
the red
fun.
line?
about 7,200 realistically, maybe a little bit higher than that. But
4 to 7,200.
well, here's the thing too is
The boost comes on hard.
the boost comes on fucking really hard. like even
It
in my
does.
car, which is stock turbo, just the boost. I think it maxes out at 22 pounds. When that fucking thing hits 3,600 RPM, it is a completely different vehicle from everything prior to that. Like,
Yeah.
but they run out of gas super on the top end, right? That's always the biggest thing. So like that car,
That's all turbo.
yeah, well, that car that they're talking about, because I can't remember if it's in this post or if it was in they actually have a mod list for I can't remember if it's on here on their Instagram, but they have a mod list for everything they did to the car to get it to that number. And it was all this fucking standard shit. It was like it's like their top mount intercooler, so not a front mount, but a top mount, and their top mount intercooler kit is like $780, so it's not a ton. 1050 injectors, which are small injectors by
They're not.
comparison.
Yeah, they're not terrible. I mean, I'm running 925 injectors secondary.
Yeah,
1050s is not bad.
so like M45 was telling me they wanted me to get 1500s. Right.
Oh, you're talking about direct injection. Sorry,
I'm talking about port fuel injection. I'm talking regular ass old school injections.
Yeah.
One set of injectors, not two.
Well, because I think with the stock STI, it's only like 500, and by the time you get the car, they're fucking almost maxed out when you get the car.
Dude, when I'm in my car and I'm like on it in Sport Sharp,
yeah,
like I was doing a pull, it was an empty road, whatever, and it was cold as fuck. I'm like, cool, I'll be able to see everything now because this is like the most power the car is ever gonna make. It was like fucking 27 degrees outside, right?
Like 200 horsepower.
We're nailing it.
Pretty accurate.
So I'm getting after it, and you can see how sharp he has to cut the boost when you get to high RPM because you just run out of fuel.
right.
Right. So
You
it's
feel
just
starve
like
the
it's
fuck out
like
of it,
you
yeah.
see this and just whap, like it just drops. It goes, it's like 21, 22, 19, 18, 17, 16, like until you downshift and then it brings it back. And I'm like, fuck, dude, this is wild.
I was using 1050s on my WRX.
Yeah. I mean, it's an upgraded injector, but for like 500, 400, 500 horsepower, it's like just throw the bigger ones on there because at least you have the headroom at that point, right?
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah. So it's like, it'll get, in most cases, it's like we'll get you to 400 horsepower. So to get 488, 500 foot-pounds of torque on pretty basic shit with a 1050 injector, that shows me that like it'll make more power with a bigger injector.
Yeah, for sure. What's always been the issue with STIs is that again they run out of fuel. They've always run out of fuel.
And to Tom's question, he's asking about, he's like, is it a dyno queen? It's like, it's a turbo. Like a turbo's a turbo. Like it's not going to be the initial point of failure. You look at dudes drag racing and iron block junkyard LSs with fucking eBay turbos. Like the turbo is not the thing that destroys the engine. It's the shitty 300,000 mile an hour, 300,000 mile engine you pulled out of a junkyard. Right. And the engine will take it. Like that 488 number, that 488 500 number is like, that's a really not common because it's still expensive, but it's like you see a lot of 500 horsepower 19 plus STIs just because the engine will take it. And that's why it was so cool that dude got into mid sixes on a, which I can't, it's in the weekend drive chat, right? On a stock bottom end. Now that one, I don't know how long that one's gonna be lit. Like I don't know how long that guy is.
What's his name? I don't remember his last name. His name is Devin. He's a YouTube guy. He's got like
Watts.
Yeah.
How do you just know
No.
that? Like just like
It's not Watts. It's not Watts for one. You're stupid.
Something.
The dude who builds all the
You're
Evos, but his
stupid. Wow.
girl has a. Is it an 18 or 19 STI? I think it's a 19. It's what was that like light blue color they made a limited edition?
Yeah, that was a series gray. That's a 19.
Cool, great khaki.
So he has one of those. They rebuilt it. It's a salvage title and all this shit. He just put down on a Mustang dyno 530 to the wheels with a stock clutch, and they could have done more, and the stock clutch was slipping.
I believe
on a
that.
stock bottom end.
Yeah, I
so
believe
like
that.
the new STI, like again, how long is that gonna last? I have no fucking clue. But like it's
Nobody's owned one for 10 years yet.
Like I guarantee you go take like my old 15 and you go do that to it. It's
it's done.
Blow up on
you're gonna
blow
blow
up on a dyno. Like it
the only
done.
benchmark that I ever had was Travis from Snail's Performance Type RA, because he would like track the fuck out of that thing and like drive it around, and he's like, it's fine. He's like, I changed the fluids in it and I drive it, So yeah, they definitely did hit they hit a sweet spot, I think, these last couple years, and that's why it's fucking really, really sad. It's really, really sad because I think there was a couple of renders of like a new STI on that body style where I was like, that's not terrible.
Yeah.
I don't completely hate it. There was like a cool front bumper on one of them, shit. And they were gonna put a new engine in it and all this other shit, right? They're like, you know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna turn it into a children's toy instead. Because everybody needs a new appliance. But yeah, it's just
Your
guess.
children's toy.
But it's like, yeah, do I just like, bro? What if I can like head up trade for a Stagia in like 24 months? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Every time.
just like you take
I mean,
this
it's
thing, and I'll take
it's
that.
possible. Like
It's
the
not
society we
possible,
live in.
but
Fuck, dude. Who knows? In 2
I think
years,
I think it could be closer. I think it'd be like a financial decision where it's like I'm net spending $15,000 more. I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? Like I'm fine with that.
yeah.
But I don't know. It's just yeah, it's fucking sad, dude. I'm not into it.
But hopefully, 400 horsepower soon.
That'd be
And
tight.
I
Are you
talked
doing-
to the guy up there, and they're
Fuck off, Kyle. Jesus Christ. Oh, wow.
I
Says the
I've
dude
never
whose
brought up
car is
the-
owned by a shell company at this point. Get out of here.
yeah, pretty much.
I'm just
We'll get
kidding.
you.
That'll
I-
be awesome.
You know what? My stock GTR almost pretty much beats your GTI. So I don't know what the fuck to tell you, homie.
Almost doesn't count for one, and that was on
It's
90.
not my fault. It's fucking limited to 180 kilometers an hour. That's not my fucking fault.
That's not my fault either. If you
I'm
can't
just saying.
accelerate past that, then a loss is still a loss.
I would
fucking just
also argue
pisses me
that
off.
Mike spent a lot more on his GTR than you spent on the GTI.
Yeah, 100%.
Although I got to see his whole setup for his fucking all-wheel drive setup today. That was fucking.
Ooh, I know that's
Oh.
crispy.
Oh, yeah.
I
We
can't
need to
wait
see
for that.
like you need to like full sitter burnout, just fucking.
Yeah, that's gonna
Um,
happen.
Yeah, that shit's cool. Are you doing anything to the GTR, Mike? Or have you done like? I mean, you put a
So-
steering wheel in it. You cleaned it up the interior. You cleaned up the interior.
That was his
I've
budget.
been on the phone a
Steering
lot.
Okay.
So there's a company in Washington called Up Garage.
Yes, I know of them.
Famous GTR shop. Talked to a couple of dudes up there. Been talking to Lenny, who everybody knows we've had on the podcast plenty of fucking
Yeah.
times.
And yes, Tom, we
Um,
do think STI prices are going to skyrocket like Evo's did, which is why I'm not selling.
100%.
Hold.
100%.
Hold.
100%.
Tom,
Hard
if
hold.
you were paying attention earlier, we talked about that.
Hard hold, Tom.
You would know.
Another gazebo.
So in
The
talking to
same
Lenny,
one, jackass.
I don't know. Those lights weren't there on the last
He's
one.
got three he's got three
They
gazebos.
come
Leave him
on at
alone.
night.
Leave him alone. He's got three gazebos, okay?
One per Mustang.
Jesus.
That makes sense.
Right. Every
Um,
Mustang came with one.
There's a fucking joke, Jamal, that I could make here right now that I'm not gonna make because it
Do
goes
it.
on the internet, but I'm gonna text
Do
it to
it.
you on this. No, I'm not gonna do it. We have a
No,
brand.
fuck
Oh,
it. Put that in real
yeah,
quick.
okay,
Fuck it.
text
Don't fucking leave us out for that shit.
No.
Oh god,
it.
here we go.
It'll
Anyways,
come. It'll come.
I talked to Up Garage, talking to Lenny, and for the goal for that car, they really said probably the first thing we should do is yank motor, go through it, make sure everything's okay, because look what just happened to Dustin Williams as Jamal and Alex have a moment because it was a good joke and didn't want to fucking share with nobody.
This shit will get us canceled. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, whatever.
Jackass.
But no, Dustin Williams just blew up his 32 GTR on the dyno. Granted, they had other problems, but it's right. It probably should. I don't know the car. I don't know the engine. I don't know the transmission. I know nothing about it. Pull it out, go through it, make sure bearings are good, make sure crank's
Fuck yeah.
good.
Hell yes.
Do all of it.
I
Just
support this.
refresh it, not necessarily build it, but refresh it, make sure everything is good to go.
Yep.
Because I'm not
Nut
trying
and
to
bolt,
do
nut and bolt check it. If like real talk,
It's worth it.
I think it's worth it. I think you should have it
Totally is.
like the bottoms fucking steam cleaned or dry ice cleaned or some shit. Get all the fucking grime out from underneath it. Like get the
But
car
there's not, though.
detailed.
That's the thing is like when we put it up in the air when I got it, there isn't grime, there's none
well,
of
that's
that
good.
shit
Yeah.
clean.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why I paid the price I did for the car, right?
Yeah.
But like again, I bought a car with mileage because I'm a service guy. I work in service in the auto industry. Most people who have mileage on a car like that
It's been
are gonna
maintained.
take care of it.
Yeah.
And you can tell how the car like looked, showed up, pristineness, like someone took care of it. So I wouldn't be surprised if like again, Dustin Williams, when they pulled his motor actually had been rebuilt by Nissan. It had a refresh done by Nissan, and the block was actually stamped differently because of that. So, like, when we pull it apart at some point, we're going to find out all this information out on what kind of turbos are in it, what kind of bottom ends in
Well, yeah,
it.
because
Is
we've
it
kind of
have
suspected that they might be
have
like
like
upgraded
an
internals.
N1 oil pump? Like,
Yeah.
what's in this car? Because I don't know, but it pulls like a fucking freight train.
What are
Like
you gonna do if he pulls the engine and he goes, I don't know what to say, man. It's pretty stock Altima in here.
I got a fucking fast ass fucking Ultima. I can lie about that shit.
No, but I think that's a fucking great idea, dude. I think that it's an old
Because
car, you know?
I would never want to blow it up. I mean, it happens. We drive cars. We drive them hard.
Yeah.
I don't baby that car, but I'm not angry at it. Like I don't drive like the
You have
STI.
mechanical sympathy. I even have
Correct.
mechanical sympathy with the STI, but that's because I drive it every day. But it's like the last car I
Sometimes.
really didn't give a fuck about when I drove it was my S13, and well, its brakes caught on fire on the freeway. So you
Yeah,
can see it.
like, but at some point, I think that car will either go up to Up Garage, or I wouldn't be opposed to sending it to Virginia to have it gone through and redone. Like,
Did
I
you
mean,
see
but
that? Yeah. No, go ahead.
that's
My
gonna
bad.
be
I mean,
15 to 20 grand.
that's big. That's big money.
But that's unfortunately that's
Jamal has
GTR
something he'd
life.
like to contribute to the conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. So speaking of like rebuilding and refreshing a car, like your STI or something, just what we talked about earlier with the used car market going on. At my job, there's a lady who has had us restore two classic cars already, like a Studebaker and a first year Mustang. Had us restore both these cars. She has us restoring now a 2002 or 2003 Crown Vic Police Interceptor.
I'm about it. I'm 100%
I don't
about it.
necessarily hate that.
We
Yeah.
just got it back from paint today, a
About it.
$5,000 paint job, and it's like a sparkly green. It's super sweet. I was like, why are we restoring this? And he was like, the lady likes it. Like, I don't.
He's like, the
That's
lady's paying
that's
for
Yes.
it.
no. You know what that car is? That is like the car like her like late husband drove and absolutely loved and will not get fucking rid of and will just
Nope, her
like
husband's still alive. She's only like 40 something.
what
Nope, you're
the
wrong.
She's
She's
got
only like
great
40 or
taste
50
in
something.
cars.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, 40 or 50 something year old lady. Her husband's still alive.
God
For
damn.
now.
A Studebaker, a first year Mustang, and then a
I think
Crown
the
Vic?
Studebaker is his.
Okay.
They've got a pretty nice car collection in general. They've brought us some nice stuff. But yeah, the Crown Vic Police Interceptor was but we did that. Like we tore apart the motor to make sure everything was fine, regasketed everything, put it back together with new shit, sent it out for paint. Now we're about to send it out to upholstery.
That's what's up.
And if you go back and watch what Dustin Williams did to his GTR and how they just like kind of kept it OEM, like I'm about that. Like I don't need like he used to have like this crazy ass blue fucking RB26 cover and like they spray painted the motor. Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. Wrinkle black or red. Like I wouldn't mind a red fucking valve cover because it's
Yeah.
RB26, right? And then all new zinc plating, all new zinc bolts, all like
Was
like,
it the
yeah.
26s that were red? I thought the 26s were like blue or some shit.
Technically, they're black, and then when you go to the 34, it turns red.
Got it.
So when you get a GTR and an R34, it's a red valve cover, but everything else is wrinkle black.
Interesting. Okay.
And then you get into like like other companies like mine.
Well, I know like the Z-Tunes had the gold
shit.
ones because the Z-Tunes all had the redone engines and shit.
There is a blue one. I think that's Nismo technically.
Is
I
that
think
like
that's a Nismo block or something like that, where it's a blue valve cover. But for the most part, everything's wrinkle black. But
That's such a Japanese thing too. You remember that? Like every fucking car, like you have the slick top and black top like 4AGs from like the 86s, And
Okay.
like even SR20s and like all that shit. It's like, oh, the red valve cover means this and this means that. This one's
You
like,
got your
Brake
red
calipers
top,
meant
your
that for
white
German
top,
cars.
black top.
that's true. German car, even fucking Volvos
Brake
had the red
calipers.
top. Well, they had the red top engines for fucking Volvo. I just meant valve covers specifically. Like that's like, you know what I mean?
Side note, German fucking garbage. If you technically look at any generation Cayenne, you can tell what kind of car it is by the brake caliper color.
Really?
Base
Yeah.
cars came with silver, S's came with black, GTS's and turbos came with red, and then ceramics were yellow. Facts. And that's almost across the entire Porsche line. Other than
Except
a
for
couple
the one guy that has the 2011 Cayenne that somebody painted the calipers yellow and we sold it.
I've sold so much goddamn shit on that 2011 Cayenne. It's not even fucking funny.
How the
Dude,
fuck did
I
we
had
somehow
pre-warranty
come
sales
back to
and went
Porsche
I'm just
again?
you said valve cover top colors.
Every
I
time.
said brake calipers.
He's
and
been
timber.
sitting there waiting.
Fucking time.
Every time.
No,
As
but like a
soon
lot of
as he-
manufacturers, that's what they do is they color code things to be
I have
able
a
to
Porsche
do it.
story about this. I'd love for you to hear it.
I would love you to hear it.
Well, I'm all ears, sir.
Please tell me more. Yeah, no, get the
Tell me
fuck-
more.
We get it. Yeah,
Porsche
all right.
story.
Porsche, yeah, they're Germans or whatever. But you know what?
No, but like a lot of manufacturers will do different
are?
things and color code things like that.
I
Yeah,
drive
they.
by the Porsche experience every day.
You drive by it every day.
I hate you.
Yeah, I live like right. It's the freeway exit right
See,
before my house.
even Tom's talking shit because you guys have a problem talking about Porsches.
You even have
You
problem
don't
wearing
even
shirt.
work there anymore. Neither one of you own them. Why are we talking
don't
about
even-
this?
I don't even look at the facility when I drive by. I just drive by.
You feel like you can't afford to
I
be
just
looking
know.
at it?
I think
No, because I know
have-
they don't race there. So it's like, what the fuck? I'm not
Yeah,
watching
yeah.
you guys
I
like
mean-
slowly drive through this puddle of water. Get the fuck out of here.
I love puddles
No,
of
to
water.
me, like for me, Porsche was the first. Like when I was a young kid, I remember going into a dealership, getting a business card, like walking through the showroom, and all. Like I have that story. Like I legitimately have that story coming back from like some like camp we went to in 9th grade, and like the teacher was hella cool, and we stopped and we looked at Porsches, and like I fell in love with the car. Like I literally have one of those stories, so that's why it's always been ingrained.
So
in
I
me
have
for,
I have a story like that.
like you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
it's like
but it's
why
not
I
about a
sought-
Porsche.
So I
but
sought
yeah.
to work for him for so long.
See, I didn't have that, but similar conversation. My mom traveled for work when I was a kid, and one time she took me to Minnesota with her, which sucked because Minnesota sucks. And the only thing there is the Mall of America.
The
So we went
Timberwolves.
because we went to exactly. We went to the Mall of America, and at the time, there was a fucking Dodge dealership indoor inside
Yeah.
the Mall of America, and they had a Viper,
Oof.
and they let me start it, and my life changed forever that day.
You became a car guy, right? You
No, I
became
mean
a
I was
car
already
guy.
into cars. I was a little kid. I was like I was younger than and I was about my son's age.
But
Um,
he was bit by the viper.
Yeah, and it's like, and Jamal knows this that I've talked about Vipers and Viper swapping and just everything for his like forever, right? Because it's just a stupid fucking car. It's
I
just
love that car.
I love it.
Dude.
Like
That
Here's-
was my first die-cast model car. Like
I
Same,
literally had a
dude,
poster
yes.
of
like
a
them
fucking
Impalas and
old
shit,
school
and I
Viper
bought a
on
Viper,
my wall.
and I was like, ooh.
with the
100%.
3
Yeah,
spokes.
the first gen Viper. Oh,
Oh,
God.
Yeah.
dude, yes.
With the 3-spoke wheels?
with the bubble
Oh.
ass. Yes,
Yes,
100%.
Had no
Yeah.
When I
windows,
used to work
had
at
no
Home
roof.
Depot, I used to see a contractor put lumber and concrete into his Viper. Like he would put
That's so
two like
fucking
20
LA.
foot, like he would just stick them out, put the red flag.
Wait, is
on
this
them,
the
stick 'em out
is this the
roof,
ratty
and
ass
just
red
dip
Viper?
off.
Is this,
Yeah,
dude, that dude is like Instagram famous in the LA car scene because he just beats the shit out of this fucking. There's that dude and the dude with a Ferrari Testarossa that just beats the shit out of his Ferrari Testarossa every single day. Takes it, throws concrete in the back, goes to the gym, fucking paints all beat up, whatever. Just daily drives it everywhere. It's
yeah.
fucking great. Anyway, that car is stupid and amazing, and the first couple ones want to kill you, and the last ones support 3,000 horsepower. So it's like. There's just like a really cool like shithead story arc there. You know what I'm saying? It's like you could be like a sommelier for Vipers. Oh, you want one that's gonna make you shit yourself? Might I suggest the 93? You know what I'm saying?
No, there's that story of like
Can I
how
show you
bad.
something in a 93?
Yeah, how bad the Viper was built that like when they would race the car, they made sure everybody had the same shoe size because the fucking shoes would melt to the fucking gas pedal and clutch pedal. Like they literally had to find everybody with the same fucking shoe size because they couldn't cool the car properly inside.
That's the
So
race
it's
car.
like
That's
fuck
the
it.
Yeah.
the
Y'all
race
gotta
We
wear
just
the
car.
want to
same
go
shoes.
fast.
Don't care. Y'all gotta wear the same
We'll
shoes.
worry about everything else later. Make
So,
it go as
Y'all
fast
This
as
is
you
fuck
can.
off.
This is what's great
Fuck
about that. That was
comfortability.
the race car. You're talking about race car drivers. The ones that they sold to people,
Oh, they were so bad.
they had the exhaust when they came out. When they had the side exit exhaust in the
Yeah.
second gens,
Ooh, yeah.
the crossover was right underneath the transmission tunnel, so it would get hot as fuck right behind the
Yes.
center console, and also the door sill. So they had to put like the "Don't touch heat" stickers in the door sills of the car. It's like, don't fucking touch this when you get out of the car because you'll burn the shit out of your. And the door sill is like this wide, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's like car just wants to
But
get no ABS.
Swear to God, I want a black one.
So bad, so
I want a
bad.
black first gen. Just take that top off. That
I would
top.
take. I would
Ah.
take. Honestly, I would take any Viper. I don't care. I don't care if it's a second gen SRT10. The last ones were fucking beautiful on the inside with that peanut butter leather that you get in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Dodge fell behind on that car because the same year that that car came out,
Making caravans.
well, the C7 Z06 came out and made 650 horsepower and was like a total fucking game changer for what it was at the time. Because it was like faster than the F12 or some shit like that. Not the fuck, what's the front engine Ferrari that came out?
F12.
No, it's older though. This you got to think like 2016. 612?
The
I don't know.
812. The
Was it
812 super
812?
fast.
Thank you. Yes, that one. So it was like as fast as that, right? Like the C7 Z06. So it's like fighting a car that's 4 times its worth, and then you have the Vet, which was heavier and slower. I mean the Viper, which is like heavier and slower and all this other shit. So it just kind of like fell apart, which is a bummer.
No,
'Cause,
it's
like,
not. 'Cause
It looks so
first gens
good
are
though.
cheap.
Yeah.
because first gens are barely qualify as a car. Like that barely qualify. That's like a really big power wheel.
Perfect.
You know what
You're
I'm saying?
paying a cheap
Yeah.
price to kill yourself.
That's what that was what I liked about the first gen Viper. Even though I was young, something about it, like when I saw
It's
it, I
not
was like,
expensive.
this is dangerous. Like this is not something that like everybody like I'm glad nobody in my neighborhood can afford this because goddamn, this is a dangerous
And so
looking
to
fucking
solve
car.
that problem, Dodge created the Hellcat and killed tens of thousands of people in the process.
Right. In sideshows all across America.
All across America, broken legs and ankles as far as the eye can see.
God.
How far did the car throw you, son? We started off on Crenshaw, and here I am on Slauson. That's how far it threw me.
Right.
Fuck.
Oh shit.
Oh god, I hate sideshows.
Yeah, so do I. We have a whole episode about it. You guys should go check it out. I think it's episode 4. Bunch of old content.
Yeah.
Yo, so that was the other thing that's fucking me up about this whole electric car thing is I started seeing Model 3s at sideshows.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Silently going around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But it works.
but here's the no, I would
Yeah, of
argue
course.
that a Model 3 at a sideshow is more deadly than a Hellcat. Because you can hear which direction the ass of the Hellcat is pointing.
True.
You cannot hear
It
which
doesn't
direction.
matter. It's not like
did
you
you
can get
see-
out the way. Have you
see
seen
the-
these people? They can't get out the way.
No,
They're all
fuck.
Nobody's
idiots.
running. They're all
Yeah.
trying to hold their drink and pull up their pants. They're not getting out the fucking way. Holding hands and shit with their girl. Fuck that. Either throw her forward or leave her. Get the fuck out the way. This is a car. Like, these people are dumb as fuck.
My name's Jamal Simpkins, and I approve this message.
Yes, 100%. 100%. Did you see though that remember that green one that comes out of the freeway, the fucking hella
Yeah.
hot on Instagram?
Yes.
There's one of him and another
Yes.
white wrapped one, and they're like in a parking garage, and they're fucking ripping through that parking garage. Like,
Listen, there's an argument. I can't even fucking believe I'm about to say this.
here we go. Groundbreaking,
Alex
everybody.
is telling
Everybody's
me
ready.
STI and getting a Tesla Model 3.
No, I'm not doing that. Fuck no, dude. Burn me at the stake before I buy a Tesla.
I'd smack the. I'd fly to Texas,
Remember
smack
he
the
said
fuck out of you
that.
and fly
Remind me,
home.
yeah,
What's
no,
I
today's
will
date?
remember
no,
that.
What's
no.
today's
I will
date?
buy an electric car. I will not buy a Tesla.
Okay.
I will
You
buy a
said other
Polestar.
things
I
like
will
that
not.
before.
Yeah, I know. I say a lot of stupid shit. Y'all keep listening to me though. That's the crazy thing.
That is.
There's an argument to be made that a Model 3 is like the perfect like scumbag daily drive drift car, and because you can get them rear wheel drive and they already have a second brake caliper on the back. So you can tap into it and just put a hydro on it and just do like clutchless, gear shiftless, just oversteer skids everywhere. Just right?
Oh shit!
But which is, I don't think I've the one that figured it out. I think it's probably the dude in the green car and the white car that figured it out first. Like, you know, but I think you're gonna see a lot more of that shit as those things get cheaper. You're gonna see more dumbasses sliding Teslas all over the place.
Yeah.
So
100%.
what?
A customer today, old man, wants to put a hydro in his Studebaker.
I love that.
What?
Yeah. Have you seen the Coyote motor? Did I post that yet?
You didn't post the Yodi. You put a Yodi motor
So
in
we
a
got the-
Studebaker?
We got the Yodi motor at work finally. Finally showed up. So we put it on the frame, put the transmission on it, and we're about to put the shell on top. And the guy he was in there today and he was like having me look up hydro e-brakes. And I was like, do you want like standalone? Do you want it like inline? What are you trying to do here? And he goes, I just want to like pull the brake and swing around a corner every once in a while. I was like, okay.
So did anybody see the Rolls Royce that Hoonigan built?
No.
No.
Yes.
Okay, so Jamal knows this.
Wait. So
The
you're
white
putting a
one.
fucking Coyote motor in a Studebaker?
Dude, out of all the Studebakers in
out
our
of all the
shop right
fucking
now,
motors to put-
only 2 of them have Studebaker engines in them. All of them are swapped with something
Well,
else.
why a Coyote motor?
Why not?
Why not?
I guess that's true. I guess.
It's
And
a
it's-
Gen
and it-
3 Coyote motor. It's making 415
Yeah, and-
sitting on the goddamn frame. It's
Mike,
in that
go back in the
application-
kitchen.
fire
Go
it
back
up
in the
every
kitchen.
like hour just to.
Well, in
Just
that
to hear it.
application, in the application of a Studebaker, it's totally preference. Because the car is only ever going to be so fast or good no matter what. Right? So having an engine, but having an engine that's heavier over the front axle in that old kind of application doesn't really matter. Right? So the argument of like the LS is lighter or whatever, it's smaller.
I guess that's true.
It kind of doesn't really matter. It's just what do you prefer, right? Like, there's no argument. There's no argument that a Coyote sounds better than an LS.
C5 vet suspension on it. It's,
Yeah.
So
It's
So
just
it's a Frankenstein.
it's your
a
kind no, it's your
Frankenstein
kind of
motherfucking
like
car.
standard resto mod car these days. That's what you do. You put Corvette suspension on them. It's a Ford car. You put a Crown Vic front K member on it, right, to bolt all the Mustang shit to it.
See, like I don't know any
all
of
of
that
them
shit.
have the Jeep
headlights.
headlights because they're the circular headlights.
Yeah,
so
it's
all of
all
them
the
have
same.
Jeep headlight conversion.
I don't deal with that shit on a day-to-day basis at all. So I have no idea.
So the-
like,
yeah,
what's
so
the
the thing
cool
is-
ass shit to put on. Like, so I'm
so-
like Coyote motor. Like, why a Coyote motor? Like that doesn't.
So the
like,
thing
you could do
about
it so
yeah,
much
Because you
cheaper.
can get them now because everybody does LS.
yeah.
That's kind of why. Like,
That's
there's
Because
true.
of the money. That's
LS
why,
is-
that's why I'm like, why?
Well, no,
why not
like
an
again,
LS?
and we've
me and
had this
Alex have
argument.
this argument through
argument-
text all the goddamn time, but it's like
You've never
it
heard of a
does come
Coyote
down to
Studebaker?
the matter of preference.
It's so there's an argument to be made where if you're just looking at purely
love you.
performance per dollar, performance per weight, performance per blah 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 blah, right? If you're doing V8 swaps and those are like the requirements, there's very few situations where LS is not the answer to the question, right?
And I guess that's what it was
Purely
more, that's why I was-
mathematically
that's why I was
mathematically
surprised.
speaking. But
Yeah.
you're talking about
And
a car
the
where it's
frame
like
was originally built for an LS, and at the
right.
last minute, the guy was like, "Nope, I want to do a Coyote swap instead."
Let's do something different, which is fine. That's
Yeah,
totally cool. And like I said, objectively, Yodis sound better than
giving me
LSs.
shit to do that work.
They 4-cam V8s sound better. They just sound better. They
And
bark and
it's
they do all
open
types of cool.
pipe. It's just header and cut off right
Gosh.
there at the flank. Oh god.
Oh wait,
That's tight.
Tom sent the drift videos of the Teslas. Let's see
Oh, the
what,
Teslas.
yeah, let's see what's going on here. Which is great because I
So,
don't have to have the sound because it doesn't matter.
so question to think about while we're watching this video. So STIs are dead.
Mhm.
Everything else is going electric. Is the new Nissan Z the Integra's garbage? Is the new
Integra's
Nissan Z the only Japanese manual car?
Nope, new Supra is coming out with a manual.
That's German. Sorry.
Fucking ruthless but accurate.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, it is actually very exciting that the Supra is coming out with a manual, but
I
like
think that will help that
this,
car. I think they'll make that car
The
considerably more exciting.
SIs don't come in manual anymore.
They do.
okay. I was reading
You
the new Car and Driver magazine, and it's so bad because I was so disappointed because one of my best friends he bought brand new a 2008 Civic Si Coupe, and like it's pristine other than the crappy paint, just like
Yeah.
Subaru's. Honda has horrible paint. But the new Civic Si, 5 horsepower less than the previous generation, and is slower around the lightning lap for Car and Driver than the previous generation. It is 27 grand, and you can pay $3,000 more to get a WRX with 80 more horsepower, 70 more torque, and all-wheel drive.
Oh well, yeah.
$27,000 for the new Civic Si. It still comes in a manual, so yes, you are correct, but
But what's the
it's
amenities
slower.
like on the inside?
That was gonna
It
be
looks like an Accord. It
no.
looks like an Accord.
I would
I really haven't
disagree.
seen either
I
one.
would disagree and say the Honda has a much nicer interior. It's
It's got a
probably
nice touchscreen. It looks good.
we're gonna be completely real about this shit. I guarantee you that Honda rides nicer. I guarantee you there's less rattling in it, and I guarantee you we'll have fewer issues than that WRX ever will.
That is, all three of those points are 100% correct.
The other thing is
Oh,
to
But if
then.
I
no,
could get all-wheel drive for
but hear me out.
$3,000 and a lot of extra horsepower,
Here's the thing though. Let's
Is
keep it real
80 a
here.
lot?
There's that, but there's something to consider. All horsepower is measured at the crank. You already know that you're losing 35% of any power that WRX makes through the drivetrain. So the 80 horsepower is really like a 15 to 25 horsepower difference when you drive it out.
yeah.
2, yes, it's 5 fewer peak horsepower, but the power band is flat in that SI now, where it wasn't before. It's slower because it's heavier, which that's just what happens on new cars. But I would
Yeah.
argue that if you're daily driving this car, that Honda might be a better car. Now, if you
yes.
drive
see
in
a
a
lot
state
of
with,
them.
yeah, if you're driving in a state with weather or whatever, you know, like, yeah, there's,
Weather.
you know, like I'm talking real weather, not California. Oh, it rained 4 days
What
ago.
weather?
Yeah, exactly. I'm talking like, oh, there was a tornado 20 miles from us yesterday. Like that's what I'm talking about, right? Like, and the thing about it too is like people forget about this shit because, all-wheel drive's fun in its own right. Rear-wheel drive's obviously the most fun just because you can do the most stupid shit with it, right? But dude, front-wheel drives handle. They fucking handle in corners and shit, right? Really, they handle really, really well.
Okay, the cool
Yeah.
thing about it is the everything in. Do any of you read Car and Driver?
No,
I can't
Okay,
read.
so
I don't know how
they
to
do the
read.
lightning lap every year, and I think the first year they did it was 2005 or 6, which was when the Ford GT came out. Every car they tested is faster than a Ford GT from
Yep.
I remember
15
that.
years
Yeah.
ago. So
Yeah.
like a Honda Civic does the same lap time as your 06 Ford GT supercar, and just like looking at that is just super. It's
It's a
just
mindfuck.
weird.
It's a mindfuck.
It's crazy, yeah.
It's a yeah. It's I mean that's the
But are we really comparing a Ford GT to a Honda?
well no,
Civic?
but no,
Absolutely.
but
Okay, right?
On
Yeah.
the track, on the
Like,
track,
yeah.
you are.
right, and that but
You
again, and
are.
this goes back to the same argument of like the LS is
I
always
think
the answer. Yes,
even
if
if
you're
you run, no, even if you go to the track in both cars, even if you run a faster time in that Civic, I think your experience in that GT is probably going
For
to be
sure.
better.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
think that's even an
yeah.
argument. I don't think that's an argument at
So
all.
why do I care?
Yeah. No,
Because
and that's
not
where it comes
everybody
down.
can buy a
At
4
Starbucks,
GT.
at Starbucks, I'm looking better.
But
At the
if I'm
track, I'm having more fun.
if I'm in a if I'm in a
Hey,
Civic
bro, I'm faster
SI
than you. Cool. Good for you.
and I shit on a Ford GT,
How
at
good
the
does
end of the
that
day,
feel?
I shit on a Ford GT in a Civic.
Where? Where are you gonna shit on the Ford
He's
GT?
saying no. We were just talking about trap times, like
track,
objective lap
the
times.
track, right?
So if let's say because it was like a 06 Ford
I'm not
GT.
paying attention to you. I'm in a Ford GT.
Talk about confidence for the Honda Civic people around here, okay?
We're just talking about like
I have zero knowledge at the end of the day that the Ford GT ran faster. I mean, that a Honda Civic ran faster than me. I do not care. That is
like
not what I paid attention
we've
to.
had this conversation before about like
If we're on the street and you start to like gap me on the street, I'm just gonna turn right somewhere. I wasn't ready.
You're
for
that.
Pretend
You're
that
that
never
guy.
I didn't even know we were
GT.
racing. I didn't even know we were racing.
Nobody said.
What is it? What is that thing on TikTok? The guy's like, 1, 2, 3. Ah! He wasn't even looking. He blinked. And that's fucking Jamal. That's
Yeah,
fucking
that is.
Jamal right there. Oh my god! He blinked at me. Go!
I actually.
But I don't even know what the fuck I was gonna say anymore. Goddamn.
That's totally
Okay,
Jamal.
okay.
Jamal's that asshole that fucking races you light to light to light that just fucking irritates the shit out of you because he's
Yeah.
like
Staring
he's
at
right
you.
in front of you and just waiting for you to fucking take off and you can hear that shit in his little V6 Mustang and shit.
He
Okay,
thought that thing
the-
was so fast.
As soon as you get to go, he's like,
God.
"Ah!" and just mad on the brakes to break his shit down.
Just mugging at every stoplight. Like,
Yes! That's Jamal, 100% next to a Ford GT.
dude, fucking caught him slipping.
So
I got him good.
You
too.
cannot. Let's just make it.
It's
you can't-
100% true. He can't even.
On my way to Alex's house back in the day, I've raced
He's
so
got
many
so-
cars up to 110.
Did they know where they were racing?
No.
No.
The dude's in a
Oh,
fucking
man.
bed. He's not paying attention to me.
He's like, where's that
So-
park can go?
So does that mean that the Civic Si and the Nissan Z are the two only manual Japanese cars available
Well,
on the market?
hear me
Guess
out.
so.
Hear me
Yeah, it's
out.
just a
Hear me out.
manual.
Here we are. We got
And
the
the
WRX.
And the
Just stop. We got the WRX. We got the new 400. We got the Civic Si and the Civic Type R. Because we do get a new Civic Type R. You do
Yes.
technically get an Acura Integra, which is faster than a Civic Si. It lands in between an Si and a Type R.
I don't want to bring up the same anymore.
I don't like that car.
I hate
They tried
that
to
car.
they tried to show it next to a 4-door first gen Integra to say like, oh, this is where we got the design from. It's like we
Broke
don't
my
like
heart.
like that one was ugly too. like
Like, why did you not understand you had like
Slow
one
clap,
good
yeah.
generation run of this
so
car?
it's called
You
the
didn't
DC.
mirror
No, wait,
that.
listen. You had the DC4 and the RSX. You could have pulled from DC4, DC5.
Okay.
Right? Either one of those cars, we could have taken those and modernized them and made it passable.
yeah.
You decided to go for the cousin that everybody tried to pretend wasn't part of the family anymore. Right?
100%.
Like daddy never loved you, that's why he named you Dirt instead of Nunamaker. Like that fucking kid is the one they decided that they were gonna base. That's like when Ford redesigned the Mustang in 2005. They're like, oh, we did it off the Mustang too. What? Why would you? Like,
Right.
why would you? No, that's why they didn't do it. They did the one that everybody liked, right? Because that makes sense. You have that. You have the
Right,
Supra.
nobody recognizes the Mustang too.
Because no, we don't. That car did never happen. Never existed.
Nah.
3rd gen Camaros are only allowed on the list because they look like they come from with BN sports kits from the factory. Other than that, they'd be out here too. 200 horsepower V8s. Get the fuck out of here. But so you have that. You have the new Supra. You have the GR Corolla, which is going to be the 3-cylinder turbo all-wheel drive Corolla that we're going to get. And
Yeah.
the GR Yaris is what it's based off of. That thing's been around in Japan for 3 years now.
yeah.
So that dual exhaust Corolla I sent you.
So
I did not. What year Corolla?
It's like a 14 or something.
The hatch?
Like it was something newer. No, just your
Oh, the
regular
sedan.
run of the mill
Yeah.
black
Fucking
sedan, not
dual
an S.
exhaust?
Yeah, wasn't an S. It was a SE. And it had tinted windows and dual exhaust. Everything else was stock height, stock wheels. I couldn't understand it.
I
It was
saw it
dual
one. I
exhaust
saw it smoke a Lambo.
with blue tip with the blue tips on it.
Shit.
Did it
That
have
was bad.
bass? Did it have bass?
Did it have
No,
bass? Was it blue?
no, it was black.
Oh. Because if it was blue and leaving West Covina, it was probably somebody's single mom. That was probably like Aiden's mom.
Yeah, it
That's a
was
really
some
that's a
dude with
that's
some
a
sunglasses on.
listen. That's a Southern California joke. Me and my homie Ricky had this theory that every girl that drove a blue Corolla and was from West Covina was a single mom. It was like 98% accurate. I'm not even fucking around.
Hey, that Corolla life, bro. Corolla
Pretty true.
life.
Blue Corollas. Listen, if you in SoCal, if you in fucking greater Los Angeles area and you see a girl drives a blue Corolla, run. Run the other way. Go the other way. She's
So I
not the
took a
one.
picture
She's
of
not
the
the one.
ass
Is
you
Jake.
that
guys
how you
about.
broke the ice? Hey, girl, what do you drive? Blue Corolla? Oh, yeah, we going this way.
Corolla, what year? What color it be? You have a great night.
Nice,
Great night.
nice to meet you. Is your hood crinkled? All right, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
It's your hood. What color the tint in your back window? In black or in purple?
Yeah, bubbles.
Is it black or is it purple? Lenny, looking at you. This starts my every podcast call Lenny out until he retints the windows in the GTR.
That's a good idea.
Free Lenny 2022. Free him from bullshit ass tint in his collector car.
Dude,
Right.
did I tell you I went
Right.
over to
We
his house?
tinted the windows on the Studebaker.
Thank you.
You can
He
tint
was
the
like, the
windows on your
glass will
car.
break if we tried to pull the old tint off. I was like, no, it won't.
Not the glass.
Dude, I went
They
over
don't
to
even
his
have
house,
the
his new
goddamn glass in
place,
this
and
car
like,
anymore.
my wife and I chilled with him and stuff. He's got like a beautiful view at like sunset.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, let me show you the parts. And I like went downstairs and like looked at all Lenny's parts. I'm like, cool. And I turned around, the GTR's just sitting there, the battery maintainer plugged in, just a fucking cover of dust. And I was like,
I'm
get this
disappointed.
motherfucker registered, you bitch.
Is that why he's not
Like,
driving it? Because it's not registered?
Yeah, he's got to get his Texas plates, all that stuff figured out. But like, I'm like, dude,
What are you
like,
talking about? Wait. We're not going to get anybody rated by carb today, Michael. Okay. So we're
No,
just
because
gonna-
he's got his house in Texas. He's just trying to figure out the
yep.
registration and all that shit.
Mhm.
Because the fucking bar listens to this bullshit.
Dude, you see they just fucking pulled 400
They
registrations.
might be using this shit for practice.
They
No,
they
we
pulled
shouldn't.
400 registrations in Florida
For what?
for not
Bullshit?
being legal to sell in the state. So like all those R34s and R33s and all that other imported shit that Florida was just like, we'll register anything. They're like, just kidding. No, we won't. So they've
Oh,
pulled
goddamn.
all the titles for 400 cars. They've blacklisted them in all 50 states. You cannot register any of those cars anywhere in the United States.
No,
They blacklisted all the VINs.
way.
Yep. So if you go on Craigslist
Why all
in
of a
Florida,
sudden, though?
don't know, but if you go on Craigslist in Florida right
The
now,
money.
you will see a bunch of dudes trying to sell cars with no titles,
Dude, I wonder, like
R32
I-
track cars and shit. Like
I know, like, Adam LZ had his shit registered there. And he had his
his
34
34,
registered there.
yeah. My concern is for the dudes who like the guy who won the Tuner Cult 34.
Right?
The Tuner Cult's built based out of fucking Florida, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And this is why you can't. Sean Morris, the dude who runs Top Rank, if that dude goes on in, and he talked about the dealerships that all these cars got pulled from like 18, 24 months ago.
Mhm.
If that guy takes the time out of his day from running his very lucrative import business that's been around for a very long time to talk shit on somebody else who's doing a bad job, don't go buy a car from those guys. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm
Yep.
saying. Just don't go do that. Like, he does this shit legit. He's the only guy who can make a Skyline, a Tuner Cult in SoCal, which means that's even more sketchy. Because then how the fuck did they get that car? Anyway,
Right.
unless it was a previous Motor X car, maybe. There's a few of those. or it got in on a show and display license.
But that car wasn't in California, was it? Or like registered in California?
Well, he's saying they're based in SoCal. In order to transfer title in California, the car has to be licensed in California.
What kind of car is it?
It's the R34.
I guarantee you that car was not registered in
I've
fucking
seen
California.
there's
There's
like
no way.
2 out here with
I
Cali
mean,
plates.
the only way that I know that happens in
It's
California,
on show and
it has
display.
to-
It's show and display. That's what he
correct.
was saying.
And there's no, you cannot drive that car legally.
No,
on
you
the
can.
street.
You just a very limited amount of miles. It's like you can't drive it
It's
more than like
like-
150 miles a year or some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but like as soon as they see the plates, they'll fucking pretty much pull you over for it. Like,
I think every cop in Southern California knows what the fucking R34 is at this point.
Yeah.
No,
Really?
no, they don't. No.
so
That's really sad, actually.
last show
I
we
got
went
pulled
to,
over for modified exhaust in my convertible. And dude, I was fucking livid. Like I literally like stood there and gave the cop a lesson on modified cars. Like he was like, yeah, like I heard you. I was like, it's a fucking V8, bro. And he was like, yeah, but I heard it like idling. I was like, cause it's a V8. He was like, I could ref you right now. I was like, let's go. Grab a tow truck. I've got nothing else to do. Let's go. I go, do you know what a modified car is? And he goes, yes. And then like 3 or 4 cars drove by. We're in Long Beach. And I was like, modified or no? And he goes, well, yeah. And I go, no, bro, that's a Hellcat. Like, that thing's not modified. And they go, you don't even know what you're enforcing.
They don't.
made
And
him
that
pull
was the
over a
biggest
Honda.
thing. Yeah, that was the biggest thing about that whole like decibel law when it first passed, right? Because remember, it was like the
He
GT3
didn't
of
even
factory.
decibel me. He just pulled up behind me at a red
They don't
light,
have to.
and
That's the
then
thing. They don't have to.
As soon as
Yeah.
the light turned green, I turned right and he lit me up.
They don't have. Yeah, they don't. That's the fucking bullshit part about that law is that they don't have to decibel test you. They can ref the car on the spot, require you to go get it towed to a state ref to get it checked, and then take it to court and pay all the fees and bullshit for a car that was never
Wow.
out of violation to begin with.
Hell no.
Yeah. I made him pull over a Civic. After our lesson was done, I stood there because I was going in that parking lot anyway. So I was standing there and he was like, all right, dude, I'm just giving you a warning. And I was like, no, you're not. Like, you didn't give me shit. You fucked
Yeah,
up my
no.
day. And I go, pull over something that's like actually modified. And like, he's like, he starts to drive off and the Civic comes by and it's fart cannon. It's an old EG. And he like looks at me and I'm
Like,
like,
go get
"There
that
you
one.
go.
Yeah.
That's-
modified.
Yeah.
It's like, have you ever met this person
Can't
named
point it out more, motherfucker.
Zach Brown?
Right. That's right.
Zach Long, my bad. I just confused him with the guy in a country band, but whatever. Basically
That
the
would be
same person.
terrible if that was Zach. But Zach wouldn't be in Long Beach driving a fucking EG hatch.
Nobody would be in Long Beach driving that loud ass Integra yet.
I mean,
Still has it.
The last,
It's very
the last
fast
car
now.
show we went to, like all of us went to, like we pulled out of a parking lot. Like by fucking Sac County pulls up 3 deep right next to me in the fucking GTR, and I'm like, fuck.
Just waiting. You're just
Like-
kind of
like,
waiting
I-
for it, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm like, okay, like they're not gonna know what this is, and like they like make my wife roll down her window because they're on this side of me. They're like, "Where you guys going?" We're like, "Oh, we're going to the car show right over here." And he's like, "Oh, right on. Nice GTR, by the way." And he like just like pulls off and drives away, and I was like, and like we like go to the car show, but like I'm like that's always been not a fear, I guess, but like a thought of like. What happens all of a sudden? Like the U.S. is like not okay with any of these cars, and they're just like,
Well,
yeah,
I was
we're
gonna say, it's
yank
like that was the
shit."
thing
Like,
in Cali when like that when that law first passed, like a GT3 won't pass that test.
I know for a fact it doesn't pass that Sonoma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at Laguna Seca.
Yeah.
Right? So it's
I
like
was there with we were there with Tim. We were there with Chris Sorty with his GT3, and it wouldn't pass. He went up
Where?
the back at
Dude.
Laguna.
His
They were pulling
GT3?
over AMG
Yeah, his
Mercedes
RS.
yeah, no,
downtown
yeah.
Long Beach.
Yeah.
When you're full throttle and you're
Because
coming
that's
on the
turn
back
4,
side-
right? That's turn 4, right?
Yes, turn
Yeah.
4. Turn 4, and then towards the back end of the corkscrew, I think there's a microphone. But turn 4 is notorious. That's why they have the pipes. But literally, brand new car, no modifications. He's just trying to have fun. and literally gets flagged twice and gets kicked off the track for a stock car.
Yeah,
'Cause
you
it's
have to have the
90
pipes that shoot out
Yeah.
to the side.
No, you gotta have the Laguna Seca mufflers, the ones that just fucking
Yeah.
use. It's like a whole hashtag on Instagram where it's like dudes just bolting extra mufflers to the outside of their car because they can't drive it at Laguna Seca.
Well, no,
without
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And they
I
turn them.
actually
turn 'em.
installed on a customer's GT3 that was in my shop. Like
Uh.
they were going to the track after I fixed it, and they needed me to install the Laguna Seca muffler. And like on the Porsche GT3, it is just like God, what do you call where the weld meets up to the weld and you bolt it together? The flange.
I
She's a
don't
little
know
rusty.
if you
flange.
worked on it.
It was the flange, literally exhaust out
I
to the side.
installed,
And
said the
that was
service
it.
advisor.
I had to install it.
So you
My
rode up. You
technician
rode up.
installed.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
There we go.
that's fair.
There we go. It's
My
called
my
cultural
technician
appropriation.
installed anyways. It's
I'm
literally
staring
just
out.
a flange, and it's just a pipe to the left, and that was it. That's the
Yeah.
Laguna Seca pipes. It's not some special muffler. It's literally just
Depends on the car.
that much pipe.
It
Just
just
go
turns it
out
away
to
from
the
the
other side.
microphone. That's all it does.
Yeah,
Well,
that
there's
was
a lot
it.
of they'll turn them the opposite direction or whatever. But it's like it's like 95 decibels, right? Which my car would not pass.
Depends on what day.
100,000%.
Oh God,
Well, no, because no,
Kill
like, I know, dude.
No, literally,
I
it
fire my
depends
car
on-
up at 7:30 in the morning when it's 22 degrees outside, and I'm like, I am an asshole. Like,
Yeah.
Every morning, bro. I live in a court. Trust me. I should fire at the Subaru every morning. I let it warm up, and it's and like I live in the back of the court, so it just echoes the rest of
yeah,
it.
but
Echoes
you
through
got
everything.
mufflers.
Like-
I don't have those. I have one resonator. One.
Yeah,
Hey,
but my car-
Alex's car is the loudest Subaru I've ever come across.
I'm gonna fix that.
Obnoxious, like so loud.
It's so loud. But it doesn't
So
sound bad,
gonna
at
fix
least. That's the
that.
thing. It's just not like
gonna fix that.
like it
It
has a
doesn't-
tone.
Yeah, it didn't sound terrible by any means. It was just like that sound of Subaru, and then amplify that by like 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
Oh, okay.
it was. It was just like
So it still sounds
No,
good.
Rhett.
It's not like
Yeah.
obnoxious.
No,
right.
it sounds good.
Dude,
I've had
like, your
listen,
little
Chris
court
would
that you used to live in.
yeah. Dude, when I
That
fired it up.
motherfucker
Yep.
echoed.
So
your court's like this. The court he lived in was like
super
this.
Yeah.
So Chris got butthurt one time when he was on the show because we went to go shoot, and Isaac said that my STI sounded better than his Camaro. He's like, how does his STI have more chop than your Camaro? I don't understand. And Chris was like, what the fuck?
That's worse.
Right?
To say it
That's
sounds
like-
better is one thing,
Bro.
but to say like, especially for a Chevy, to be like, oh yeah, that has more chop than
Yeah,
you.
my four banger has more lope than your fucking. Yeah.
Hey,
That's
but shout out
rough.
to Chris because he put fucking TEs on his fucking
Yeah, that
Tacoma.
he put
That thing
TOTs
is
on the
fucking
Tacoma. It
sick.
does look good. It does look good. It does look good. And shout out to all those dudes at Disconnect. They're doing cool shit. It's 3 photographers, so everything looks pretty, right?
Yeah.
Everything's always aesthetic all the time.
Which there might be a collab coming soon.
I
so
think that'd
everybody
be
stay tuned to
fun.
That.
Yeah,
We're
that'd
coming. No,
that'd be
Yeah.
that'd be fun. I need to. My neighbor is a photographer. I'm gonna try and get some shit done now that the car's not gonna get sold. Maybe he'll buy rooms for it. Who knows? Since we're not getting rid of it. I haven't wanted to do anything to it because I just really didn't know what I was doing, So I'm just like kind of driving it and maintaining it.
You're killing me, Smalls.
But it's like, dude, if it's gonna be worth money, like I'll clean it up, put a set of wheels on it, maybe throw a nicer set of coils on it, and just kind of leave it alone,
You still gotta send me a link for that fucking little jig. thing
Oh
from the
yeah,
back.
dude, I'll do it right now. Fuck, shit, my bad. I completely forgot. Modern car things. So Jay's looking at me like crazy. So there's in the STIs, Jamal, they're throttle by
And I
wire.
totally feel what you're talking about too.
Right, so
I can
the-
feel it.
The brake pedal's here and the gas pedal's like here. So to heel toe, there's like a very large height difference.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? So like you end up like really like stabbing the brake not being smooth, trying to catch the pedal. So it's literally just a machined 1-inch aluminum spacer that just pushes the gas pedal out. So you can just fucking and it works. I will say this, it is much less comfortable to drive for long durations because your legs just push back a little bit.
Right.
So like if you're driving, like when I took it to LA for Subi Fest, you're getting like thigh discomfort and shit because your leg's just a little bit higher than it
Bro,
would
my
naturally
commute
be.
is
Yeah.
6 miles a day.
Yeah, dude, fuck you,
The
bro. I
new
drive
Edge Mustang has the same problem.
Like,
yeah.
6
The
They
miles.
new
have
Ed,
the
It
new
takes
Edge,
me
the
20 minutes to
brake
get there,
pedal
so
and
fuck
clutch are
you.
even, and then the gas pedal is low.
I remember
So they
that from
make something for it too. Yeah, you remember that from driving
yeah.
mine. But they make something for it, but everybody just does the cheap. We just put a thick, like if you take the cable off the gas pedal, you can just put a washer on the back or a bolt. I mean a nut.
See that? Yeah, this is essentially what this is. It's just like a more expensive one.
I mean,
Yeah.
and kind of to circle about the beginning of the conversation of like mods and cars, like I'm not tremendously far away from being able to pursue dropping my car off and being able to do the E85 and some kind of turbo setup. And I'm super excited about it. And like they were hella cool about like, yeah, you can come up, take pictures. So we might be collabing with the boys at Disconnect Media and try to get them over here and get them up there and then see if we can
Just piece them out to do some shit.
yeah, get them up there to document all of it and like turbo going in and like
I
all
would
of that
much
stuff. So
rather
like
pay those dudes to do YouTube content like that than have them have me
I'm
do it.
I'm super excited. Like I'm not tremendously far away from it. So
Can
we'll,
we
we'll-
can we pay them to when I do my all-wheel drive swap, just to document everything?
we're gonna do hopefully with I've got lined up, which Tim and Kyle know. We're gonna have some pictures this coming weekend for merch. We're gonna show everybody the world what Rev Match has. And then hopefully maybe going forward when we're
So
trying to do more photo shoots or we're doing builds or we're doing documentation of stuff, they can be involved and I can hire them to do that stuff
Hell yeah.
and really involve them and collab with them and grow with them. I mean, that'd be the ultimate goal. I think
I mean, I
putting
consider that a
my
much more
build
worthwhile investment than trying to buy all the videography equipment and do it ourselves.
right, my build, Kyle's build. If we could get Timmy in a build, I'd love to get the both of Jamal and Alex involved, but unfortunately, y'all live fucking far away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's options out
Um,
here though.
but there's
That's cool.
there's
Yeah.
options to do that,
I know
and I
people
think
out here.
people need to understand like we're trying to expand, give you more content, trying to involve more
It's just
people, and
it's
hopefully people
just
are
it's
watching
like a
this and studying it.
difficult thing to get off the ground, and I think that like um sorry Mike, I'm like looking for this thing while I'm talking to you. But I think
No,
that a
you're
lot
good.
of people underestimate like it's got like there's a lot of work that goes into even just doing this. You know what I mean? And like um to do more, especially when you have Mike's got a kid, I got a kid, Kyle's got kids. You know what I mean? Like we got shit going on, we got full-time jobs, we got commutes and everything else. So like it's it's already like hedging out time to do this. You know what I mean? And like working in between working and kind of like just trying to keep it afloat and keep content coming when it's not something viable to do 24/7. So
Yeah.
when it comes to like doing more stuff like we want to do, I think it does make more sense just to like piece somebody out to do it.
Yeah, and we're gonna. I know myself, Tim, and Kyle in the Sacramento area. I think we're gonna try to branch out way
Sacramento.
more in this. I mean, I have to say it because you are fucking Texas and fucking
No, that's
Los
fair.
Angeles, but like
You
we're gonna try
motherfuckers
to
are supposed
branch
to go out
out
for
and
TX2K and it starts tomorrow.
we really didn't have a conversation. But I'm excited for
3 of
Alex to
them.
come to. Shut up! I'm excited for you to come here because we're gonna have some cool shit when you come.
So that was I
So
should tell you that I'm not coming till June, but yeah.
but still, you're coming.
Yeah, I am
That's the
coming.
point.
Yeah. So
So
well,
like we're
it became a matter of just like financial sense of like we have to go out in June because it's my niece's graduation from
yeah.
high school and she's like going to college. So it's like cool, we're gonna go to March and June. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like
Right.
that's too. There's a lot of costs involved with moving a family back and forth, right? So it's like we got to be smart about that shit. But yeah, no, we're gonna chill. I wish I could get the car out there somehow to a drive, but obviously that's not feasible. So unless somebody wants to start a GoFundMe for transporting my car back and forth across the country for a week,
I
let
might
me
have
know.
one you can borrow. So I mean, there is that.
That's a lot of trust right there.
Well,
You're gonna let me
yeah.
drive the GTR, man? I can't tell you how much I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You're gonna let me take the GTR on stubs, man? That's like a dream come true, Mike. I really
Wow.
appreciate it. You heard it here
Wow,
first,
we're
folks.
making
It's on camera. It's recorded. I have evidence. Mike said I could drive the GTR.
That's probably definitely not gonna happen.
Probably,
That's more-
definitely.
Probably
It's a non-
definitely not gonna
That's a
happen.
non-definitive.
It's
It's
not
a
gonna happen.
non-definitive statement.
So
Okay,
there-
Not
that's
gonna
that's
happen.
that's a definitive
Not gonna
statement.
happen.
Oh fuck! I'll let you at least drive it. Fuck it.
This fool says, see, Tom said
Go
he'd
to the
take me in the
closest
bed.
store. You can
He'll
drive
take me
it.
in the Benz. We ride in luxury. That's right, boo.
Yeah, Tom. I like that.
Did you bag that shit yet?
Hey, bro, you need to pick him from the airport with a hat too.
Right, the leather hat with like the driving
Yeah,
goggles.
100%. He's got gloves on and everything. Like he's ready. Take you wherever
Like
you need
he's
to go.
ready.
What the fuck are we even talking about anymore?
We don't know.
Okay.
Chauffeuring people around.
Hell yeah.
And on that
You got a
note,
Benz.
The STI is dead. Like and subscribe.
Tim, I love you. I swear.
It's over.
Oh my god.
don't sell your
Sorry.
cars. Keep them all because they're all going to be worth way
Oh,
more.
God.
Sell everything you own on Bring a Trailer and maximize profit.
Yeah.
Make you money for days.
Here's a pro tip. Take your car, put it on Bring a Trailer, sell it for 40% more than it's worth. Go buy a Model 3 and put an e-brake in it and slide all over the place until they shut the whole fucking shit down. You heard it here first.
Fuck.
That's
Do
it. Cheat codes. Anyway. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Thanks for coming out. RIP to another legend. Hopefully
We appreciate y'all.
something cool comes to take its place. We will be back in a couple of weeks, maybe with Scrape Lux if he stops fucking up his jaw. And if not, we'll get somebody else cool in here to keep giving you guys cool content. Keep an eye out for the photos of the merch. DM us if you're interested in that. Let us know if you want to get on the Discord. And until next time, be good. Drive safe. Only you can prevent forest fires. Spay and neuter your pets. Don't touch that. You don't know where it's been.
Don't go to
Don't go where?
to sideshows.
Don't go to sideshows.
Yeah.
Don't go to sideshows.
And fucking, I don't know. Take care. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.
Yeah.
Hi guys.